You see those fancy home robots in movies gliding around doing everything perfectly? Yeah, don't buy one of those. Yet. Because the truth about truly smart home androids is far more complex than you think. For years, we've dreamed of a household helper, a robotic companion that takes care of chores, fetches things, and even understands our moods. But when will this sci-fi dream become reality? More importantly, how do we even know when a robot is actually ready to be left alone in our homes without causing chaos or hiding the mail? Today, we're breaking down the complex science behind measuring robot intelligence, what it means for your future smart home, and when you can really expect to trust an android with your house keys. Let's start with the big question. How do you even tell if an android is smart enough to live with you? It's not as simple as checking a smartness box. We need a detailed checklist, almost like a report card for robots. Think of it like grading a student, but for a machine that needs to understand your messy living room, your dog, and your grumpy morning mood. There are 6 key areas where a home android absolutely has to shine, and shine brightly. First up, social intelligence. This is huge. Can the robot pick up on your emotions, understand where you're looking, or know when it's its turn to speak in a conversation? We're talking about things like its emotion recognition accuracy. Can it tell if you're happy or annoyed? How quickly does it react to your gaze or a facial cue? And crucially, what do user surveys say about trusting and liking this robot? If it acts like a clumsy, emotionless box, you're not going to welcome it into your home, no matter how good it is at vacuuming. It's all about making human-robot interactions feel natural and safe. Next, perceptual awareness. This is its ability to see and understand the world around it. Can it figure out a cluttered room? Can it spot your keys under a pile of laundry? Can it track people moving around without bumping into them? Think about the critical tasks. Finding your mail on the table, carefully avoiding your pets or kids, or locating your phone when you've lost it. It needs robust object detection, even when lighting is bad or things are partly hidden. A robot that can't tell a toy from a valuable antique is a disaster waiting to happen. Then we have cognitive, or decision-making, intelligence. This is where the robot plans, sequences tasks, and handles unexpected problems. Can it decide to pick up the mail now or wait until you get home? How efficiently does it plan its route to clean a room? And what happens when things don't go according to plan? How often does it need you to step in and fix something? This governs whether it's truly helpful or just another gadget you have to constantly babysit. Fourth, learning and adaptation. Your home isn't a factory. It changes constantly. Can the robot learn from its mistakes? Can it get better at tasks over time, adapting to your unique home layout or your habits? We're talking about how fast it improves, how well it learns new tasks with just a few examples, and if it remembers those lessons days later. A truly useful robot will adapt to your life, not force you to adapt to its limitations. Motor agility and manipulation is perhaps the most obvious. Can it move around your house without falling down the stairs? Can it grasp fragile items without crushing them? This measures its ability to walk, climb stairs, and perform delicate tasks with its hands. Grasping success rate, its ability to navigate thresholds, and how often it falls are all super important. Imagine it trying to pick up a glass from the counter or help with a spilled drink. Dexterity is everything. Finally, and perhaps most critically, reliability, safety, and ethics. This is non-negotiable. If you're going to leave a robot unsupervised, it must be safe. How often does it break down? What happens if something goes wrong? Does it have a fail-safe, like an immediate emergency stop? Does it protect your privacy, handling your home's data securely? There needs to be a clear mean time between failures, rigorous safe stop tests, and a solid privacy audit. Without these, it's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. So how do we actually test all this? It's a mix of controlled lab experiments, like isolated tests for perception or manipulation, and then multi-day trials right in people's homes, usually with human oversight. Companies like Meta are even building massive datasets like their PARTNR project to set benchmarks for these home tasks. We also look at human-robot interaction metrics, standardized surveys to gauge user trust and perceived competence, along with objective measures like how often humans have to step in and how many tasks actually get completed. And of course, a rigorous safety certification checklist is essential. Reliable emergency stops, safe force limits, transparent privacy policies, and clear liability coverage from the vendor. Now for the big question on everyone's mind. When will you actually be able to leave one of these smart androids alone in your home? Let's talk timelines. In an optimistic scenario, for early adopters and pilot homes, we're looking at 2026 to 2030. Companies like Figure AI are already moving from industrial settings to limited in-home tests. Generative AI models are making it faster to teach robots physical tasks. But here's the catch. These early systems will still need your supervision, they'll be expensive, and they'll probably work best in homes that are pretty organized. They might help with simple things like picking up mail, basic tidying, or answering the phone. For mainstream practical helpers, the kind that are reliable and semi-autonomous for many households, we're likely in the 2030 to 2038 range. This is when we'll see better scaling, lower costs, and more robust capabilities. Think of hybrid solutions. The robot does the work, but there's a cloud AI helping it make sense of things, and maybe a human operator on standby for tricky situations. Full generality, handling every unexpected situation, is still incredibly tough to achieve. Plus, rules and insurance will need to catch up. And for the conservative scenario, a truly fully autonomous, inexpensive, and widely trusted android that mirrors human social cognition and has zero failure safety across all kinds of homes? That's probably 2040 and beyond. Achieving that level of perfection across countless diverse home environments is a huge long-term challenge. So the bottom line is this: limited supervised robots for specific chores are here now. But those truly lifelike, unsupervised androids you can just trust to handle anything? Don't hold your breath until the 2030s, at the absolute earliest. Before you even think about leaving an android alone in your home, there's a practical checklist you should demand. First, it needs a proven task success rate of 95% or higher for the specific chores you want it to do. Second, a very low human intervention rate, meaning you shouldn't have to step in more than once per 100 tasks. Third, robust fail-safe behaviors are a must: an immediate safe stop, a remote kill switch, and clear error reporting. Fourth, privacy and network security are paramount. Local data processing is best, encrypted communication, and clear policies on what happens to your data. Fifth, the vendor absolutely needs to provide insurance and liability coverage for any property damage. And finally, you need user control and transparency, the ability to review its logs and override its decisions. What's slowing all this down? Well, homes are incredibly messy and unpredictable. Robots struggle with perception in cluttered, variable environments with pets, children, and low light. That's a major failure point. Dexterous manipulation, picking up varied mail, handling fragile items, is still way harder than just walking around. That's why many companies focus on simple tasks first. Cost and maintenance are also huge barriers. Early humanoids will be expensive and need constant updates and repairs. And let's not forget regulation, privacy concerns, liability issues, and whether society will even accept these machines in their daily lives. So if you're like Ron and Fountain Mills, MD, wondering what to do right now, if you need help today, buy specialized devices. Get a robot vacuum, smart mail sensors, voice assistants that forward calls. These are reliable and available now. If you're keen to pilot a humanoid, look for local programs from companies doing residential alpha tests, but insist on supervised trials and clear safety and insurance terms. And if you're planning for the long term, keep an eye on advancements in large behavior and action models, new datasets, and commercial rollouts from major robotics firms. Meaningful home assistance is coming, but it's still a few years out. The dream of a fully functional android for your home is closer than ever, but it's a journey, not a destination. Understanding these 6 dimensions of intelligence is key to knowing when that future truly arrives. If you want to know which smart home gadgets are actually worth your money today, click on this video right here.